Hey, this is Pastor Mark and wanted to bring you just some brief encouragement on this Tuesday morning. So this last Sunday at Fultondale First Baptist, we kind of had a reset, and that was the name of the sermon, and we were really resetting everything in our lives, in our church, back toward the mission that God has given us. And so we looked at two different scriptures this past Sunday. We looked at Mark 12, 28 through 31, and Matthew 28, 19 through 20, and that's really big passages. So important. They were given names, the Great Commandment and the Great Commission. And in the Great Commandment, Jesus was asked, what's the most important command? And he said, the most important is to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then he gave a second one. The second one is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. So love God, love people. And then we talked about the Great Commission, where Jesus says, go therefore and make disciples of all nations. And so our mission at our church, and really our mission as followers of Christ, is to love God, love people, and make disciples. That's kind of what we talked about Sunday. But there's something else that I didn't mention that I want to go into a little bit here on this message, this video, and it's tucked away really in one word in the Great Commission in Matthew chapter 28. So if you're not a part of our church, if you follow Jesus, this applies to your life too. And I want to bring you some encouragement here, because here's what happens. We read this passage. I'm going to read it, verse 19. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe or obey all that I've commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. Now, as a follower of Jesus, just a regular church member, someone who's doing their best to live life and follow Jesus, we read that sometimes and we think, well, that's for pastors. That's for ministers. That's for the paid professionals, right? But Jesus is telling his disciples, his followers, that's you, that you're to make disciples. And so we read that and we think, well, man, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can go and make disciples. My life is busy. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I can't add one more thing. But here's what I want to encourage you with this morning. You can do this. You can fulfill that mission. Jesus gave the mission to you to make disciples, and you can do it. You can make disciples. And so I'm excited because our church is really about to embark on something exciting. It's called Everyday Discipleship. We're going kind of through 8 days of focusing on what I just talked about as a church. And we're going to talk about what it looks like to make disciples every single day, and every person doing it, what that looks like for each of us, not just those of us on the platform. I'm excited about that emphasis. If you're a part of our church, man, buckle up, get ready. My friend Warren Haynes has written, here it is right here, written this workbook. I'm so excited that our church is going through it, starting this coming Sunday. But I want to explain to you something here that's vital to this idea of all of us making disciples. The fact that you can do it. And here's what I want to share. That word, go. Go therefore and make disciples. Now, we read that in our English translations and we think, okay, that means I've got to leave where I am, right? That's what the implication is. I've got to leave where I am and go somewhere and do it. That's why we think we can't do it. I don't have the money to go overseas. I don't have time to go across the city to people in need and those kind of things. But really, that's not what Jesus was saying at all. And in fact, if you look at the original language, the New Testament was written in Greek. And if you look at the Greek, that word go really has a deeper meaning. And it's kind of twofold, okay? The word go, because it's the kind of, I'm not going to bore you with the Greek grammar, but the grammar of the Greek really means as you go, or better yet, having already gone. So what Jesus is saying is, having already gone, as you go, make disciples. And that changes everything, doesn't it? Because it means that we don't have to leave where we are. It means that we don't have to add something else to our schedule or our life. It means as we already go, having in fact already gone, right? So what he means is every single day, wherever you are, in your everyday, ordinary walks of life, make disciples. That's what Jesus is telling us. It's every day, every conversation, every opportunity, every moment, every place that we are. Every follower of Jesus can, as we go, make disciples. So it's not about adding on, it's about a lifestyle. So here's what I would tell you and encourage you with. Disciple making is actually not even something you do, it's who you are. If you follow Jesus, you are a disciple maker. You are. Because the reality is, we follow, the disciple's a follower, right? And so we all follow something or someone, everybody. Even those people who don't know Jesus are following some idea or value or belief system. And so our job is just to kind of introduce Jesus into the equation in small ways, to sprinkle it in. That's what it means to be salt and light. We're told in the New Testament, be salt and light. That's what it means, to season our conversations, to season our day with making disciples. And we can do that in the simplest of ways. I'm excited about the journey our church is going to embark on the next couple weeks, because we're going to talk about how to do that practically. But it's not something really hard. It's not something that it's impossible. It's not something you need a degree for. You don't have to be a Bible expert to do it. You know what? You can just live for Jesus, love people, love God, and then sprinkle in Jesus in your conversation everywhere you are. That's what it means to make disciples. So I want to encourage you. You can do this. Not only has Jesus given you the mission, He's given you the ability to accomplish that mission, having already gone. Wherever you are, as you go, that means it's at the grocery store. That means it's at work. It's at play. It's in the neighborhood. It's in the classroom. It's, at the Dollar General, wherever you are. As you go, having already gone, because it's places you go anyway, make disciples. Introduce Jesus into this equation and share the love that Jesus has given all of us. What an exciting thing that you can do this. And so if you're in the Birmingham area, if you're part of our church, gear up, get ready, because this is going to be an awesome journey we go on. But for those of you who aren't even a part of our church and aren't connected and aren't in Birmingham, look, just be encouraged and know you can make disciples as you go, having already gone. And God will go before you to do just that, to use you to be a disciple that makes disciples. So be encouraged on this Tuesday, and I can't wait to see you next time.